Hey there, friends and enemies, JoPa here again, and today we got some first look Psylocke gameplay in Marvel Rivals to check out, and I'm not gonna lie, this has been one of my more anticipated characters. I was really curious to see what they do with her heading into full launch in about a month now. And yeah, it's been a minute since I've covered the game, but as we're leading up onto the road to launch, this is probably my most anticipated PvP game of the year, and I can't wait to get hands-on once again. I really enjoyed the previous beta, and I posted some content from that. I had a blast, and I just am really looking forward to finally getting fully hands-on with Marvel Rivals when it does arrive in December. But anyway, for now, let's see what they have in store for us with the Psylocke gameplay.
We recently had an exclusive trial of Psylocke,
Very
the new
anime-esque.
hero of Marvel Rivals. Her agile movements and powerful attack power left a deep impression on me. She's a very threatening output character to the back row. Next, please watch our recorded skill demonstration and actual combat video.
So, like Sombra, it looks like she goes invisible, I believe. I like the art style quite a bit, to be honest.
Psylocke is a duelist class in the game, a formidable
So,
assassin
DPS?
type damage dealer, adept at close quarter combat where her shotgun-like bullets are most effective. The closer she is to her opponents, especially those fragile back row heroes, the greater the damage she inflicts. This design clearly encourages players to close the distance when using her. Additionally, her normal attacks reduce ability cooldown times, adding a layer of challenge for players to master her aiming and timing.
Oh, that's kind of
Psylocke's
gnarly.
abilities are crafted to complement her role. Side Blade Dash, a straightforward and aggressive sprint attack that deals damage to enemies in her path. This ability also retracts
So
her
that's
right-click
kinda
shuriken,
similar
creating a
to
potent
The Genji Dash from Overwatch. This game obviously will be compared to Overwatch a lot, but there's a lot of similarities when it comes to abilities. So sometimes they act differently, like they don't have the same gameplay effects. Like they might not have like certain buffs or debuffs that are the same, but they have similar appearance, and generally you're going to use them in the same way.
burst of damage in a short span.
Normally that's what Genji players will use to
Psychic
finish off
Steel
players.
grants Psylocke invisibility for a few seconds, along with increased movement speed. This is
Invisibility can be
invaluable for
so
either from
annoying.
escaping concentrated fire or sneaking up on the enemy's back row unnoticed.
Now, the thing is, if you don't have the hack feature that a Sombra has in Overwatch, then invisibility is not quite as gnarly. Although if you're a good player and you can feed off of the supports from the other team, it can be really, really nice. Like here, Jeff the Landshark is in trouble.
Wing Shurikens. When activated, Psylocke throws several psychic shuriken that damage enemies and provide temporary health based on the number of shuriken that hit.
Oh, you can
again
heal yourself?
causes
That's kinda
shuriken,
nasty.
causing additional damage. Skilled players can maneuver this shuriken through multiple enemies, though the temporary health boost can only be applied once per throw.
Interesting. Just bullying that Punisher.
Dance of the Butterfly.
This is the
Upon
ultimate.
activation, Psylocke creates a wide killing zone centered around her. She automatically targets and launches powerful slashes at random enemies within the zone. If only one enemy is present, they suffer multiple attacks. If multiple enemies are within the zone, the damage is distributed among them. While the
Interesting.
ultimate is active, players can control who Psylocke targets, but can adjust the center of the killing zone. This forces opponents to use all their movement abilities to escape quickly.
So her ultimate, I think, could be really effective for any type of mode where you're controlling a zone, right? To force the enemies out of the zone. You can control the cart, that kind of stuff. Especially if you don't have a counter ult from a support character or something to kind of stay alive in that situation. But it does seem like she will be pretty vulnerable when you're using it. And not having the specific burst DPS that you're looking for when using it. Like, obviously, if you use it against one character, then you'll get that kill probably pretty easily unless they have a dash or some kind of way to get out of it. But the fact that it'll hit a bunch of different enemies at once could be really good, or it could be really mid if it's not something that where you can do enough damage, and so the other team just heals right back up, and now all of a sudden you kind of wasted your ult. So I'll be very curious to see how this all works, especially if you use it in the midst of a bunch of enemy players. Maybe combine this with an ult where it weakens them or also does damage in a area as well, or clumps them together. Something like that would be effective. Yeah, see, it doesn't look like it does insane damage or anything like that.
Players must tactically position her close to enemy back rows. Her normal attacks and ultimate are most effective at close range, rewarding players who can adaptively navigate her into prime position.
Yeah, she's going to be an interesting character for sure.
In combat, Psylocke necessitates strategic coordination of her sprint and stealth ability.
I don't know if she's going to be for me, to be honest. She looks really cool.
And swiftly close in on the opponent's vulnerable back row heroes. Alternatively, she can utilize the high burst damage of her left and right click abilities, along with the cooldown reduction feature of her left click to quickly diminish the health of the front row. A useful trick when sprinting is to raise the camera to achieve a double jump effect, allowing Psylocke to reach higher areas of the map. Furthermore, combining her sprint attack with normal attacks can help secure the final blow on enemies while simultaneously moving Psylocke out of dangerous positions, avoiding focused attacks. Mastering this maneuver is crucial for maximizing Psylocke's effectiveness. When Psylocke's energy is fully charged, using her ultimate move requires careful consideration. Factors such as relative distance to the enemy.
Yeah, I guess if you use it when the enemies are already low, like if you're in a team fight and you have already weakened the other enemies significantly, it could be pretty insane and a game changer. It's just not something where, like for example, with the Scarlet Witch's ult, or with something like that, like even Magic's ult, where you're able to output a ton of damage to the characters of your choosing. I think those might be more efficient in a lot of cases, but situationally, then Psylocke could be really, really good.
Either deal through damage to finish off low health enemies, or exploit the invincibility of the ultimate to avoid concentrated fire, or test the player's judgment.
Yeah, it could be effective depending on how it's used, for sure. Again, zone control could be very good with
accuracy, in-depth familiarity with the map, and impeccable timing in using her sprint ability. Players must approach her as a ninja rather than a warrior to fully understand her position and role in battle effectively.
A skirmish player where you're trying to ambush and get in and get out.
Rivals in November, so stay tuned.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting more info about the game. Obviously, we've gotten hands-on with a lot of the different characters. We've played the beta. There's some newer characters that we haven't gotten a chance to play with unless you were in China. But I do think that there's a lot of reasons to be excited about this game. I'm hopeful, and the problem is every game and every community with games like this wants to be hyper competitive these days. And I feel like this would be a game better served just to be fun, jump in with your favorite characters, not be too sweaty, not take it too seriously, not worry about everyone playing their roles specifically, and instead you're just trying to have a good time. I feel like Overwatch is too far gone with the more competitive aspect. You have a lot of other multiplayer PvP games that are hard focused on the competitive spirit and nature. If you want to be super competitive, you can go play Valorant, you can go play CSGO, stuff like that. But I have some hope that people will just play this one for fun and shenanigans, at least for a while, because there's something about when a game first comes out, before everyone's mastered every single character, and we've got people who are sweat lords in every aspect of the way, that's the best time for a new game. And everyone's like, take me back to the early part of Fortnite or the early part of Overwatch or whatever the case may be there. And I just feel like that's impossible because the community gets better. All the guides are out on how to play certain characters. You learn to min max in a way that's just unfortunate. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to the first initial time frame with Marvel Rivals, and hopefully it actually is as much of a banger as I believe it will be. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe. My name is Jopa. Have a good one. I'll catch you all later.